Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for Saturday's 1-1 draw in the early kickoff at Loftus Road. Once again, just like the Luton game, I felt that we was the more aggressive side. I felt we dominated, and we definitely on this occasion, if you didn't agree with me on the Luton game, deserved 3 points. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. Okay, and it was only one change from the team that did lose to the aforementioned Luton last time, and that was, of course, Josh Coburn out and Macaulay Langstaff in. Jake Cooper was also fit, which was the result, in my opinion. But the surprise inclusion on the bench, the saga goes on, was Mihailo Ivanovic. We heard he was out for 6 to 8 weeks. He went on international duty with the Serbian squad. Then he came back. His dad said on Twitter there was no problem, and it definitely didn't look like there was one. When he came off the bench, I thought he was really impressive. Most of them, or almost all of them, were. The team was Lucas Jensen between the sticks, Ryan Leonard right back, Joe Bryan left back, Jake Cooper skippered the side alongside Big Jafet Tanganga. It was George Saville and Casper De North again in the centre of midfield, with George Honeyman in the 10. Duncan Watmore's on fire on the left, so is Romain Esse on the right, to be fair. And up front, as I've already mentioned, leading the line on his first league start, I believe, yes, Macaulay Langstaff. Okay, look, again, I'm going to say, great turnout from our fans. We didn't get the lower tier. Like I said, the noise, it never does come across on videos. But I put a couple of crowd cams out, which I don't really do anymore. And I did vlog the entire day, which I didn't really want to do, but people have been asking from since Germany. They just take a long time. I mean, when I'm filming, you probably wouldn't know. I just hold the camera sort of there at points when I sense something might happen. But the amount of time it takes to edit and then do it all yesterday when I had things to do and places to be, and I can do a post-match analysis, we'll get the same, if not more views. So I know you'll like them, well, some of you do. I'll try and keep them regular-ish, but I'm not going to be doing that at every away game. Absolutely no chance, unfortunately. But as I said, look, a good turnout from our fans, and the noise was really good. We didn't get the lower tier, as I mentioned in my preview, which was bollocks because they didn't even sell out that lower bit, and there was a good crowd at Loftus Road. I think just over 15,000, but definitely patches where there could have been more home fans, in turn giving us the away end. I don't know why that happened. Some people were saying at the ground that we was throwing things at their goalkeeper last season. I actually remember, I think it was it Colback? He threw something back, didn't he? So maybe that was the reason why. But fella in front of me said, my dad didn't come because he's elderly, he's in a wheelchair, and obviously we didn't get the bottom tier. So yeah, a bit bollocks. But despite that, great atmosphere for the 1,700 or just over that made the trip, and I felt that we dominated the game. But similar to the Luton game, I felt we definitely was on top in the Luton game. But when you watch the highlights back from the Luton game, the first half is just all Luton chances. And again, on reflection of the highlights from Saturday, in the first half, of course, we scored. But other than that, we're sort of on the front foot. We get into good areas. We force lots of set plays and balls into the area. But at times it's just our final ball, or things don't quite drop for us. I mean, you can't really keep saying things don't drop for us, because everyone at some point in their life gets a little bit of luck, and it would seem if that was valid, what I was putting across, we would, never get any luck. So, maybe we're not just getting in the right positions from the knockdowns and things, etc., etc. But in comparison, if you look at Queen's Park Rangers in the first half, they had 2 chances. One's a great block from Saville, and the other one they score, and I'll get onto their goal in a minute, but it just shows that being clinical in front of goal. Same with Luton. They scored at the den. They got a bit of luck with their goal, with the original cross that went in the deflection, but also they hit the post and forced a good save from Jensen. So although we're getting all this possession and all this intensity, which is great, when it comes to the final push and it comes to that little bit of quality, we do lack that. And it's saying that the highlights sort of didn't reflect, in my opinion, how dominant we were in that first half. It was a great block from Savs. For us, Macaulay Langstaff I thought was outstanding, by the way. And now I'm excited because we thought we had no strikers. Now all of a sudden, obviously, Coburn come in, then got injured. Bradshaw's injured. But Langstaff looked really sharp when he came on. And now when Ivanovic come on, he also looked sharp. So that could potentially give us that option to play the 4-4-2. Although with Watmore and Esse on fire, like I've already said, he's not going to want to change the shape so much. But yeah, chances for us in that first half, say Langstaff took one quick turn, fired into the side netting. There was another one where Watmore slid him through and he sort of went round the keeper. Showed good composure there again, Langstaff, but it was adjudged to have been offside. Other than that, I'm failing to think of a shot we had. Obviously, than Duncan Watmore's goal, which I'm now going to lead on to. Neil Harris, 90s hoofball. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm sure you all are as well. Look, I'll say it time and time again. Neil Harris knows how to play in the right areas. But as much as he does like to play direct, it is good to mix it up. I think everyone's been brainwashed now by, we've all got to play this way that Man City and Arsenal try and play. We're not Man City, we're not Arsenal, we're never going to be, luckily. So it's definitely good to mix it up. And I feel we did do that. We do play direct, and I think we saw in the second half when Ivanovic came on, we definitely tried to do that a little bit more. And in defence, Harris, who was pushing for the winner. But our goal, at times, we put some great moves together against Sheffield Wednesday. Scored some really good goals. We did it as well in the second half. But the goal in the first half is brilliant. It's Ryan Leonard into Langstaff. Again, Langstaff quickly takes it and turns, fires it across the box. Great step over from George Honeyman, awareness. Probably got a shout if you can hear it as well from Watmore. And Watmore's showing now this season has 5 goals. He got 3 last season. I think Zian Fleming finished our top scorer on 5, I think, or 6. I always say with Watmore, he's pacey and he's got them tricks. He don't always get his head up, but it's just that final bit of quality with a lot of our team. And he didn't panic. He took his touch, composed himself, and he fired it wide of the keeper's dive, placed it, didn't thrash it. And from behind, and obviously where he was, I said in the preview as well, we always seem to score up that end, don't we? Jeb Wallace. Watmore there last year, Watmore again this year. We rarely score at that end. About Ollie Burke is the most recent one I can remember. But from the angle we was at, it was going in and then it sort of stopped. I couldn't work out what had happened. On the highlights, obviously, afterwards with the benefit of the replays, I've seen that it's actually, their defender's got a hand on it on the line and it's gone in. Now, if it hadn't gone in, of course, it would have been a straight red card. I would have fought for their defender. So, all right, please for Watmore, please we got the goal. But I think I would have rather took my chances with a penalty and QPR be down to 10 men for the majority of the rest of the game. So we then take the lead and then we go and do something which, as Millwall fans, we complain that we don't do enough, which is don't sit back. Why are we sitting back? Because we scored. Let's chase the second goal. Let's try and kill Queen's Park Rangers off. And we continue to pile forward. And it's again a really good move down the left-hand side. Joe Bryan cuts it back across the box. A rare, bad ball from him, shall I say? Rare-ish. It's cut out by QPR. They break straight away. It's 3-on-3. And again, pointing to what I was saying earlier, it's just the quality there to execute that counter-attack. When we get counter-attacks, we sort of get caught up pace-wise, or we don't move the ball quick enough, or we make the wrong decisions, or the final ball isn't there. And QPR showed that little bit of quality at the top end of the pitch, which can get you points on the board. And this is exactly what happens. 3-on-3. Cooper's tracking back. Tanganga's tracking back. Cooper's trying to hold him up long enough to allow Tanganga to get back behind him, run into the box, good through ball, good finish, keeper could do nothing, and it's 1-1 straight away, and that sort of took us to half-time. Second half took a little bit longer to get going, but once it did, I thought we looked really strong again. We was clearly on top of Queen's Park Rangers, pressing them. The only chance that they had in the second half, which again, in real time and in my full-time reaction, I said was cleared off the line by Tanganga. It was a great clearance by Tanganga, but it wasn't going in. I watched it a couple of times from different angles. The smaller course of games on Sky Sports, so a little bit more extensive coverage of highlights. But it wasn't going in. It was going into a dangerous area where someone potentially could have put it in if Tanganga wasn't there. But as I said, on reflection of how I saw it in real time, again up the other end from where we sat, it wasn't going in the goal. But definitely Tanganga had to deal with it, and he did. But I mean, coming forward for us, free kicks alone, we've had 2 direct free kicks and opportunities at goal, which SA won one of them, and I don't know why he didn't have a pop on his left foot, because he likes to cut in and try and curl one in. He actually did that with a shot early in the second half. The goalkeeper gets down and saves it. Honeyman curls one wide, then from the angle as well. But the 2 free kicks, Joe Bryan and Savs. I saw Savs knocking him about in the warm-up, taking loads of free kicks, and they all look pretty good. But in the game, I don't know, it's that little bit of quality. And I don't know, we haven't really got a recognised free kick taker now. Mr. Muscles, as Pete calls him, has gone to Burnley. So it's there for us, and people point at our league position. They're pointing we've only won one game this season. But honestly, I've got a feeling something's going to spark. Having said that, in the preview the other day, I said I was worried because I didn't think we had any strikers. But we continued to press, and I think we're playing good football. I think we look dangerous. The players have definitely got the Neil Harris effect. They've definitely got the bit between their teeth, and we just kept piling forward. We kept creating chances. Watmore at one point went on a run from one end of the pitch to the other. He holds it up, it's crossed across the box, and I said it was corner after corner, chance after chance. The absolutely glaring one is the George Honeyman one, and as brave And as brilliant as he is, I'm very up and down behind him. And I say in the live stream the other day, I think I said it. It might come across that I don't like George Honeyman. I love George Honeyman. He's brilliant for Millwall. He seems like a fucking good guy. He seems bubbly. Not just that, I don't really care about people's personalities, but he does come across like that. I want him to perform on the pitch, which he does. He flies into tackles. He's like that little terrier that just gets involved and, don't shy out of anything. And you can always count on him to still try and make things happen, even if it's not going our way. But, it may sound harsh. For me, he can't play in that 10 anymore, because he has to score that. And as brave as he is, if I'm honest, looking at it again, because if you watched our away day, we're right on top of it. I'm not going to say he's bottled it, but I think he's got one eye on the keeper. If he doesn't look at the keeper and he just follows his body weight and his momentum forward, he just runs it into the net. It come across quick, yes, but he had a good sight of it, and then he has to score it. And he's not scoring any goals, and he's a 10. Now, we're starting to pick up a bit, in my opinion, performance-wise. We're starting to dominate games a little bit more, so we have to try someone else in that 10. For me, it's glaringly obvious it should be Romain Esse. Idemo Amaku seems to be out in the cold completely because, of course, he didn't come on, and Femi Aziz did. And Aziz, for me, again, people go, no, he looks shit, he looks this. He's not played, all right? You can't forget the fucking Carabao no one gives a shit letting Orient Cup. Forget that game. When he's come on, what he looks like he's got is sharpness, decision-making that's quick, and a desire to try and make things happen on the football. So for me, in the next game, especially against Preston on Saturday, shit on the preview a little bit, I do that a lot, it has to be Aziz on the left. And you've got to put Eze in that 10 and really go for Preston. Of course, they're below us, they're struggling, got a new manager in Paul Heckingbottom. But Aziz gets the chance as well, because by this point, the big Serb's on, again, who look sharp, who look dangerous, look like a real threat on the floor as well as in the air, and I don't know what's gone on. But let's leave it there now, because he's here, he's doing well. From what I've seen, apparently I've heard it, he's looking sharp in training as well. So whether he was injured, whether he wasn't injured, the fiasco, let's draw a line under it. He's there, he's available, we'll absolutely take it. But ball comes in the box, and that's why by that point we were plonking balls in, just trying to work an opening, a bit of a scrappy one, but we would have took it. And it's one that he sort of chases over to the far side of the box, beats the keeper to it, cuts it back. I think Esse gets a touch on it, and then Aziz, there wasn't a lot to aim at, but the keeper was already there and his body's everywhere. He fires it, and again, it's fucking inches from us winning the game. It comes off the goalkeeper's, I think, knee or thigh, and flies over the bar. I felt gutted for Aziz, because you could see he was obviously clearly pissed off of it. He was gutted. But we definitely deserved 3 points. Other performances, keeper had nothing to do. Cooper, big fan. I know some of you aren't, but with Tanganga alongside him, don't see the issue with it. Tanganga's an absolute monster. Lenny and Joe Bryan. Lenny was good. Joe Bryan, yeah, it was all right. Central midfield, Casper De Noor and Saville. I felt they've been absolutely brilliant, the pair of them, so far this season. Been our best two players, probably. As I said in a previous video, Esse and definitely, obviously, Watmore have been our most stats-wise effective players. But performance-wise, I really feel that those two have stepped up. I didn't think they was both as good Saturday. Sav's made that brilliant block in the first half. But yeah, I didn't feel they was as good. Of course, we got Billy Mitchell coming back this Saturday, I believe, available. Or also we've got Daniel Kelly there. And of course, Ryan Wintle. I'm absolutely bewildered by that one. It's a winter wonderland, basically. I didn't tee that up, by the way. Honestly, I didn't tee that up. Yeah, so we've got other options there. And it might need a little rest for Savs. Although obviously no midweek game. Of course, next week we are away at Cardiff in midweek, so I definitely think you'll see a little bit of rotation there. But Langstaff was brilliant up front, and Watmore and Esse, performances-wise, are speaking for themselves in a minute. But I definitely get my Roro in that 10 at home to Preston without an absolute doubt. That is your post-match analysis done. Views are down, but views are down across YouTube at the minute. It happens on Millwall channels in general. So I'm not complaining about that. What I'm saying is you get the sense that people lose interest at points, and then everyone's views go down, everyone's views go up. So I'm hoping after Saturday, because I'm still not convinced a lot of you feel that Neil Harris is the man for the job. I absolutely think he is, and as I said, we usually kick in to some sort of mad run. So if we can get Ivanovic involved a bit more, get him and Langstaff together, get them both on the score sheet, honestly, I think there's good things to come. And so there you go, that's it for your post-match analysis. I hope you've enjoyed it. I should never ever want to jump up. I'm absolutely sweating my tits off. I'll be back later in the week for a preview for the aforementioned Preston game at the Den on Saturday. We're back for a 3 PM kickoff, thank God. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.